Official MSI patch 25.13. This one is going to be overall a short one. ARAM will have some different maps. Arena will be coming back until the rest of the year. And we will begin with Briar. She will be receiving quality of life changes. Basically, her W or frenzied attacks will no longer be cancelled. So basically, this prevents cancellation when chasing fast moving enemies. And cast time will be reduced by 0.10 as well, which puts her in a better spot. Fiddlesticks will have more damage in his W, which overall will increase a bit of his win rate, even though I don't think it's enough to put him as a blind pickable option. I do believe that Fiddlesticks has some really OP angles that no one is usually taking, but plus 5% AP considering the other buffs that he has been receiving, well, we should actually keep an eye on Fiddlesticks. GP, I do think overall this is a placebo change, and even though he lost a lot of mana sustain because of Biscuit and stuff like that, I do believe that GP losing 5, even though it makes him spam a bit more throughout the laning phase, I do believe that it will not change much why you would pick GP and these struggles. Also, ultimate is going down by 10, which is nice, sure, but not enough of a change. And yeah, I don't think GP will actually be behind Pro at all. I think it's really placebo overall. Irelia, attack speed will be up in initial stages for you to actually look for all-ins. Let me remind you that Irelia has 4 stacks maximum, which is why her cap is 10%, because you do 2.5% per attack on each stack. So yeah, overall early game buff for Irelia until level 7, until level 9. After that, she will be pretty much the same champion, and she usually doesn't really scale too well. So if you don't get an early lead, Irelia will still be in a shit spot, to be honest. Kindred ultimate going down by 20 seconds. I think Kindred is really strong into champions like Vi and Nocturne, so losing 20 seconds on that when you can play with laners with Prio and responding to Vi and Nocturne could be really strong even for MSI, in my perspective. So good change around that. Nidalee, Q damage will be up by 25%, and this is mainly a Nidalee mid lane buff. They're speaking about top lane, it really won't change top lane at all. Jungle, Nidalee will also benefit a bit because she usually does AP in jungle, but Nidalee mid can be really good despite some matchups losing Prio, for example. If you can play some matchups and max E and grab some sustain. I'm not sure if you guys have checked Veigar V2's cook, but it should be the return of Nidalee mid, and I would like to see it more often, even though it's more viable in solo queue. In competitive, it could have some agency considering all of these changes. It's a bit more extra damage, which is nice for AP Nidalee, and I will be spamming her in mid lane for sure. Rammus health growth is going up, and bonus armor slash magic resist is going up into a flat amount plus 5, plus 5, plus 5, plus 5, so basically gaining more 20 at maximum ability instead of being flat 27. So yeah, Rammus will still be in a weird spot because he lost like 5% win rate, I assume. Not sure if this is enough to put him viable. I assume not, even though it's a big jump from 27 to 47 eventually. But we'll see how he lands in this patch. Slow steps, per se, right? Ryze, I completely disagree that he is receiving a nerf on his W. I think this champion should be buffed. His late game is not as good as it could be, in my opinion. I think the flux could be buffed in damage. And some people actually see Ryze as the mega OP late game champion, and I do believe that while he is strong, he should receive some sort of change. Not sure if he should receive like level 16, he gets some extra range to cast his abilities or something like that. But something that wouldn't really go and nerf his W just because of pro play. Solo queue win rate is not the best, and pro play, even though Ryze can and will appear, I do believe that now he will just shift back into maxing Q or E at level 1, and he won't really care about W because this is a huge nerf, plus 10 mana, and also minus 10 damage. Huge nerf, and I don't think it really justifies. Twisted Fate, one of the best millers in the patch in my opinion, with the Unsealed Spellbook, Rocket Belt, and all of those buffs that the champion has received. There's still a lot of people going Rod of Ages, and do not build Rod of Ages. Go for Rocket Belt build. He loses 10 seconds cooldown in his ulti, a bit of a revert, sort of, but he will still be in a great spot, and he will definitely be a priority in MSI eventually, when it begins. Passive Blast Shields going down by 2% max HP. I mean, this of course, a nerf overall for her shield and durability, but she will still be picked when champions like Inferior Pantheon and stuff like that are out Poppy as well, because Poppy is a direct answer into Vi. So if you want to play Kindred into Vi, you can do it as well. But Vi, yeah, I mean, she's been back to back to back to back nerfed over the course of the patches. -3 armor for Yorick. I do not like this change much. I think he should be nerfed on his Q or goals type of setup. But yeah, overall it's a really small patch. We will have Spirit Blossom skins coming along, which will be really nice. And I will not do a TLDR because this patch is really small. So we'll see you guys at 25.14. Let's see how MSI goes actually.